Like, what is it that Sharif Cooper hasn't done that I can say he should do to say he's done it all?
He won that championship. That was it.
Everything. He's done everything. He's scored a lot of assists.
The only thing that can cap off his career is becoming Mr. Basketball.
So why is it that when I watch the Wild and Odom, did I feel like he's the best player? Every time I watch the Wild and Odom play, I feel like I'm seeing something special. Like I'm seeing something that I'm not gonna maybe not see again. I said that for a long time. BJ Boston was my favorite high school player in Georgia. I don't get that feeling that I'm seeing something I'll never see again. Yo, it's the Love the Game podcast. It's Thursday night. We in the building. They on your head already.
I know.
We're not that late. I mean, we are late, but we're not that late. They on your head already.
Well, I don't know why they coming at me. I'm not the point guard. I don't click go. I just show up.
Hey, no matter what, I feel like it finds its way back to me. That's okay. I can handle it. How's everybody doing, man?
Great. How are you?
I can't complain, man.
Well, would anybody really care if you did?
No, probably not. No, the chat gonna care. The chat gonna care. If I start complaining about some shit, the chat is gonna care.
True indeed.
Hey man, what are you, Bryce? Are you enjoying the new Nas King's Disease 2?
Man, you know I'm a Jay-Z kind of guy. I try to listen to it. I gotta give it another go. I gotta, I don't make any ratings or reviews on music until I listen to it 3 times, and I haven't even really listened to it fully once. So you got to ask me next week.
And you know what, Dre? As the New Yorker in here, I agree with Bryce because I've heard it and it's good. And I'm not going to tell you it isn't. I'm not going to sit here and say it's this and that. But it's Nas' last few albums. It takes you at least a few listens.
Yeah, because you got to listen to him. Yeah,
because he's grown now. He's talking about grown problems.
Mm-hmm.
And not that Jay-Z isn't, because Jay-Z does. But lately, the last 2 albums for Nas, at least from my opinion, is you got to really listen to it and be in a different zone.
One thing I can say immediately from listening to it is that the music selection is better.
Yes.
Hit Boy is doing his thing with helping Nas pick his beats, and all of that. But I will agree with you. Even King's Disease 1, it took me like 2 weeks. I had to circle back to it. I didn't like it at first. I circled back to it. I was like, man, this album is one of the best albums I listen to. Here lately, to get ready for the show, I feel like we got, as soon as COVID was really kind of over, we got 2 almost, well, I'm using air quotes, when the rest of the country opened up and decided we're tired of it.
There you go.
We got 2 classic, damn near perfect albums. So I've had to go back and listen to those albums. We got a almost perfect album from J. Cole. And that I don't feel like, because he came out first, I don't feel like his album is still getting talked about enough. And then the Migos put out a classic.
Oh, that Migos shit is a classic.
Culture 3 is a classic, bro.
I will have to say I got to give that a listen because I haven't heard the whole thing.
I bump Culture 3 once a day.
Okay.
Yes,
that joint's a classic. That joint is
a classic.
Classic.
And shout out to Real.
That joint on the beat, they like you just like this the whole time. Like That joint is a classic. So it's
Grinding.
hard to go from that to Nas.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Culture 3 is a classic. I did want to, because I listened, like you, Bryce, I listen to Culture 3 almost every day. And I thought about it today as we was getting ready for the show. Like, do the Migos, do we take that for granted?
Take what for granted?
Like, bro, they delivered us a classic, right? They're from here, but not only are they from here, like they're from here, like they outside, and in the community. Like there's a team Huncho, there is no
Yeah.
team Ti, there is no team Dupree.
That's good. Thank goodness. They don't need it. Everybody don't need a team.
Now, everybody doesn't, but I'm saying like even across the country, there's only a select few that's really giving back to the community in that way, and they're one of them.
I mean, I think
And they didn't
people
wait
who,
until they was washed up to do it. They're doing it.
yeah, they doing it now. I think people who, especially kids who are in the culture that we are in, basketball and hip hop and rap, they pay attention to it, and that's why a lot of them play for them.
For sure.
So, I mean, I don't think that we ignore them. I think that shit, they get a lot of talent. But we also have to treat them the same way that we are treated when it comes to this basketball world. And you have to deliver. And the same way that somebody's going to look at one of our programs, whether it's Man Up with Georgia Canes or a shoe team or whatever, and you look at what their results, it's no different. It's no different for them. You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, you
For
might
sure.
be in the music business and you have to deliver and you have to get a certain number of sales and a certain number of spins or whatever you want to call it, streams. It's the same thing with basketball. Well, you got to get a certain number of kids in college, so they in this lane now, and they're gonna get looked at. They're gonna get judged in this lane.
That's true. I
So
agree with that, Bryce. We gotta we I will say this though. One thing that I've seen from them that I haven't seen from other people is that it looks like to me after watching them this year that they're dedicated to being in the trenches and
yeah,
figuring out how to get it done in this lane. And I do applaud that because there are a lot of people that and I think I posted this on Twitter before. There's a lot of programs that really don't want to be in the trenches. They want the limelight. They're not dedicated to really being in the trenches and going through the steps. They want to cut line.
hmm
And for what I'm seeing from Team Huncho is, I mean, shit, they grinding it out with their program,
And they've
expanding it to younger age groups. Like
yep.
I mean, they're here, they're grinding it out.
And they've honestly have had how would I say, just like even some other, they've had normal issues like
Yep,
some
yep,
other
yep.
programs. They've
It
showed
hasn't
up
avoid.
again.
They haven't.
They've
Yeah.
shown up the game with 5 kids. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They've gone through the, hey, we're gonna shut it down, and yeah, then we're gonna pop back up. So it's definitely something that I can applaud them. I appreciate them not trying to take it as a pop-up shop,
Had
you
some
know.
kids
And
that left or didn't come back.
right. So I mean, they've had their issues. They've had their issues. So they're going through it like anybody else.
hmm
I respect that. I do respect though, like to point out what Bryce was saying though, is that because this is Atlanta basketball, if they were somewhere else, they would get a pass. Here, they're not getting a pass because
Nah,
this is
not getting no
Georgia.
pass. Nah,
This is
not
Georgia. You're not getting no pass.
especially if you have big time players. You know what I mean? Like those big time players are expected to continue to move forward out your program, and that's not just with them. That's with anybody. Like if I have a 3 or 4 or 5 star kid, there he's expected to go to school. You know.
True.
Got to make it happen. But shout out, I want to shout out to those guys, man. Shout out to Quavo, everybody involved with Team Huncho. Shout out to Real.
But I mean, hey
almost got.
man, they do one thing I would say about them, man, and I can't even knock the hustle is like Jay-Z line, but the cameras are gonna be on you.
Yes.
So if you're a kid and or a parent and you can handle that pressure of playing for that team, that program, you're gonna get coverage, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
media, video, ball is life, slam, like them dudes, they can put you in the limelight easily. I will say that.
True.
Hey man.
Oh, wait a minute. Who crashed the party?
Hey, talking about pressure to play. It's pressure to play in Denmark now.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. We're just happy to be here.
Hey man, Huff, what's good, man?
Hey, man, I'm pinch hitting tonight. Lock, I'm pitch hitting for you tonight. I'm gonna need that check.
Man,
Hey man, we were
money. He's spending all that money on dances and wings.
Lot getting ready to go to Vegas, man. He leaving us, man. But we were just sitting here talking about I know you can't comment on kids, but we were just giving a shout out to the Migos, Quavo, Team Huncho, as they continue to kind of grind it out with their program out here on the circuit uh after they dropped a classic album. Hey, so we got some I want to read off some stuff for you guys for from the summer league, and I just want y'all thoughts on it. Hold on a second, let me find it here. I saw something interesting. So the summer league ended, right? And actually, before I get into all the stats and stuff, um, I'll say this. Let's start here. What are y'all thoughts in regards to summer league? What does it tell you? What does it not tell you? What are you watching for? Are you watching just to be entertained, or are you looking for something in particular? Like, what are y'all thoughts on summer league as a whole?
Who's going first?
I'll take it.
I'll toss it to anybody.
I look at summer league like spring training baseball. You're just trying to see what everybody has. You pay attention, and for me personally, I just look at it for the entertainment value. Just give me something more to watch when it comes to basketball, at least for me. You know what I mean? And I know it can be entertaining because sometimes some of those guys, even though you know that they were excellent in college or they've been around on a number of teams, and you sit there and try to wonder, man, how long are they going to be in this space or this level, or where do they go next? Or you have guys who who won gold medals in the past, who have played on the NBA squads and been major contributors, and you find them, and this is years ago, and you find them still back playing summer league, and you're wondering, okay, what's next for them? So for me, I'm just more for the entertainment value. See who pops out of an abnormal name that you'd never heard of. But it's just more of like, hey, it's like spring training. Just see who's out there and have an opportunity to just watch what's coming up. Go ahead, Bryce.
For me, I actually think summer league. I think you have to take it case by case, and I say that because I look at some guys like your guy from Florida State, what's his name, Scotty Barnes,
Mm-hmm.
and you watch him, and you can see that his game translates perfectly to the NBA. And then there's other guys where you can say, okay, you know what I mean? So I think it's a case by case thing. And you can see that some guys are going to be really, really good, even though you're playing in summer league and you might not be playing against the top level NBA players, you can see that their game is going to translate to the NBA for a long time. So when I look at people like that, and I didn't look at every game, obviously, or every team, but when I did look at them, like when I looked at Toronto, I was like, okay, I think this guy's going to be in the NBA for a long time. You know what I mean? Um, so, like I said, I think you have to look at it a case by case thing to see how that guy plays and is his game going to translate, even though he's not playing the primary NBA guys. You can still kind of see, in my opinion, if his game's going to be okay, if it's going to work out for him.
I do agree with Bryce. You got to see if his game's going to translate. You want to see potentially what this guy can do, but you also got to understand, just like Bryce said, like there are a lot of guys that's playing summer league who won't make a roster on the NBA team. And so you've got to understand when you're watching these guys, no matter how good they're playing, well, where do they fit in the roster of that team? And I think a lot of times we get hyped up, not understanding that some guys are doing really well, and eventually a year, 2 years down the road, they're going to make major impacts, whether it's on the team that drafted them or if they went to an undrafted free agent or some other team. But you can't get too high and you can't get too low. In summer league. I mean, I hate to bring it back to this, Dre, but you were killing Trae Young in summer league when he was out there a few years ago about how he was trash, and then that changed, And we've seen guys who, on the flip side, have been really good in summer league. And
I killed him how he played the whole first season.
Like, and even in the comment section, these are a lot of good comments. Like Cam Thomas, Brooklyn Nets, he's gonna be what he is his entire career, a scoring guard, and that's not gonna stop. Moses Moody, like that guy is really good. Jonathan Kuminga, really good. Like, so.
But you look at a kid, not Kuminga, but like Moody. So how many minutes is Moody going to get for Golden State?
I mean, I don't know. But I think he can work his way up into getting a lot of them, a good amount. I mean,
but couldn't Moody be like what Jermaine O'Neal was at Portland? Be able to get some minutes off the bench.
Significant minutes. I think he can get significant minutes for that team.
But you got to remember, Jermaine O'Neal was almost ready to quit. Now,
he
had never not played in his life.
I think Moody's gonna play more than Jermaine O'Neal was playing. I can't say right away, right? But I think Kuminga and Moody are really going to help that bench because there's literally nothing there, and they'll get minutes. I think some.
Yeah.
Like I look at my team, like the Hawks. So you look at. I'm not even gonna talk about Sharif. Jalen Johnson had a great summer, right? Summer league, just like Sharif did. But is Jalen Johnson going to jump over John Collins? Is he going to jump over Gallinari? Because he's going to probably be playing the 4. And now all you saying, well, if he's playing the 5, is he jumping over Clint Capella? Is he jumping over the kid they drafted last year in the number 6 spot? Then they just signed Dang to be the backup center. Like, who's he jumping over immediately to get those minutes?
See, I
don't think he jumps over anything, but I don't think it's a bad thing for him or for the team that they now have another piece. They added depth.
Yeah.
So I think that's the big thing. Is like, okay, you can see who's adding depth. You know what I mean? Like the Hawks with getting him,
it sets you up for the future, Bryce. Because now when you get to that point where you say, well, you know what, this kid's ready. Maybe we can get some pieces for this other dude and ship them off, especially if he's older. You got a lot of things that you can do with that.
Yeah. I actually think, and Huff is going to hate this, I actually think Sharif had a better summer league even than Johnson did. When I watch summer league and I basically watch it just like AAU games, right? It's not how many you score, it's how you score to me, right? So a lot of those leak out dunks and some of those plays Johnson was getting.
A lot of those lobs were coming from Sharif. So
a lot of the lobs were coming from Sharif, and I never saw him get a bucket. right?
I
I can't
take
say
that back.
never.
Take that back, Dre. Now,
I can't say never,
But if
right?
he's but if,
A
but if,
lot
but
of
if
his
he's but if
buckets,
he's that's true. But if he's playing the forward position, he doesn't necessarily. John Collins doesn't always get his own buckets either.
not, and that's what I'm saying. Not always, but it gave me more cause to pause. It was easier for me to read Sharif's game and have a better feel for
Yes.
what Sharif was going to be after watching Summer League than watching the Johnson kid and know exactly to me what he's going to be during the regular season. I'm not saying he is or he isn't. I'm just saying from watching Summer League, I got a better feel for what I feel like Sharif could be. Right now, Sharif's knock is to me two things that NBA development, those guys handle pretty well, right? Like, oh, he doesn't shoot as well as we want. Well, one thing that we do know, neither could Jason Kidd, and look what happened, right? The NBA, that's one thing that they're able to fix. Look at Lonzo Ball's jump shot right now compared to what it was when he came in. That's one thing, and and out of all the knocks that Sharif has, the one thing that has never been questioned is that kid's work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing that nobody is.
He's gotten bigger. He's gotten
Yeah.
stronger.
So
And my thing is, I think sometimes too, it's like, then you go on Twitter and people are like, man, you can't get too excited. It's just summer league. Now, yes, like I said, it's a case by case thing. You can't get too high, can't get too low. But I think that there are some people that you could get excited about and say, yo, this dude is gonna be a problem.
right.
You know
If
what I
you're
mean?
willing to be patient and wait for it.
yeah,
And that would be Cam Thomas, who he's going to get a lot of time, get some time behind Kyrie, but not as much as people think. But at the same time, be able to be a contributor because his game translates.
When Jonathan made that, he hit that hesitation, and then he caught the dude off balance and crossed back over and took off with one hand. Like, what do you mean? Like, why would I not get it? Like, that's different, bro.
Different.
Like, I don't like that's different, bro.
Kuminga is different.
Like,
He's
that's
different.
excitement right there. That's the future of you looking at maybe the future of the league right there.
And he does something that team needs right away,
right? Yeah,
which is defend and rebound and challenge shots off the weak
got
side.
young legs too.
Yeah. Those guys, they're gonna need those guys, man.
I think Summer League too shows you how tough it is to get in the league, man.
Yeah.
Like there are dudes out there who are really putting in work, and not just in Summer League. They put in work, whether it was overseas, whether it was in the G League. Yeah. You've got NBA vets that were there. Like, it's hard to play in the NBA, man. And guys that are telling these kids they're pros right away. Well, what kind of pro are you? Are you an overseas pro? Are you a G League pro? Are you an NBA? It's hard to be an NBA pro.
There's a dude that was playing on the Lakers team, and he had went to, like, his name was like I think Derek Queen or something.
He's nice.
He's nice. And he went JUCO. Then he went to New Mexico State.
Yep.
Then he's playing in the G League, trying to get a spot, and the dude was going hard, and he was getting it done, and he's still trying to make us a roster spot. Like, that shit hard, bro.
I want to read,
and it's so hard too, B, because you've got teams that have already used 14 of their spots. They only get 15.
Yeah.
And so you got 12 dudes on this team that's trying to get that one spot. And who knows? They might not even give it to them. They might sign a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to read off a couple of things to you guys and see if anything jars you. Number one, we can't leave this topic without shouting out Davion Mitchell, who got co-MVP with Cam Thomas of the Summer League. Any thoughts around Davion getting co-MVP?
I think that was justified, but I will say this: nothing against Davion, nothing against Cam. Chris Duarte for Indiana should have been up there too.
Yes, he should have.
Nice.
And
go ahead.
And all the players listening, he went JUCO.
Yes.
Before so.
And and another thing to go similar to what Hub just said, but not the JUCO route. What Davion getting the co-MVP, he actually got it for playing defense. You know what I mean? Yes. And because he was averaging 8 to 9 points a game, so it's not like he was Cam putting up numbers the way he was, but the fact that he was a relentless defender and ran his team accordingly and was still able to get shots, but he he locked down the team. He put him, he put the clamps on plenty of guys. So he got
His
rewarded for that.
his basketball DNA, and what he does best hasn't changed since he's been in high school.
Hmm.
And with him, and we don't speak on it much, but with him actually transferring and going to a situation that kind of worked for him, um, helped him. And now he's on the biggest stage. But that effort and that hard work, that's been him. That explosion, that bounce, that's his game.
And he actually said that going up against another Georgia kid while he was at Auburn, Colin Sexton, is the reason he even realized he needed to step it up and take basketball a little bit more seriously because of the way Colin was abusing him when he was at Auburn.
Yeah.
I want to say this one thing too. I'm gonna read off some numbers. We had three uh, young point guards that were in the G League. I'm sorry, that were played in summer league. All of them played pretty well. I just want to read off some of the stats, and you'll kind of be able to see how Davion ends up with the co MVP. Points per game went like this. It was Sharif Cooper 14.8. Davion was 10.8. And Kyra Lewis was also 10.8. Field goal percentage, Sharif led all of them in field goal percentage, 46.3 versus 42.3 for Davion. And then Kyra Lewis was just above 40%, 40.8. The assist number was Sharif at 7.3 a game, Davion with 5.8 assists a game, and Kyra Lewis with 5.8 assists a game. Kyra Lewis and Davion took care of the ball better, even though a lower assist total, but took care of the ball better. Kyra Lewis only 2.2 turnovers a game. Davion only 1.4 turnovers a game. That equaled out to wins, right? Davion's team went 5-0 through the summer league, where Sharif, the turnover number was his kind of hard spot during the summer league with 5 turnovers, average of 5 turnovers a game. Uh, I thought those numbers were kind of telling, comparing those three different point guards and how everybody played. Uh, you know, got to be able to take care of that ball. We've seen some
Well,
guys overcome it. Trey Young was one guy to me that I thought played around with the ball too much. Steph Curry the same way, play around with the ball too much. Those guys have figured it out and are now winning.
the only thing about the point guard is a little bit more tricky to analyze is because point guards in the league are like extremely good.
Yeah.
So like extremely next level good. So every night you're going up against somebody that's like better than you. So I think that's the one position that's kind of like, you gotta, yeah, he played well. Okay, we can see it, but you got to do it. I think the point guard position got to see it in the real time, real NBA
Mhm.
time, because the point guard position is so different in the NBA. Like you going against everybody, you name it, and it's. I don't know. He's a person I think we just have to continue to just watch and see.
Watch and see. Grind it out.
We can't. You just gotta watch and see. Like the kid that shocked us in high school, in AAU, in college, and now he's in the league. And everybody has said, well, he's too small. He doesn't shoot well enough. Well, maybe so, but we have to just watch and see at this point because I don't, and yeah, he played well. His numbers were great, but we gotta watch and see.
And
Like I can't even.
everybody's path is different. And
Yeah,
shout out to you, Huff, because Kobe Simmons looks really good.
I
Kobe
think
looks good, bro.
I look at
I
Kobe
mean,
Simmons. I look at Kobe Simmons, and I see a plethora of guys similar to him in the league that didn't have to go through the grind that he has gone through,
Yep.
and I think that he's showing that he deserved what the path that they kind of got, if that makes sense. Like
Opportunity.
being drafted and not having to go to the two-way deal and back and forth. I think he's kind of showing now, like, I deserve a spot. Where some of those guys got drafted and, that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
I told you guys this, and I preface it by saying I'm not just saying this because I coached him, but just go watch, and he deserves a chance to be on somebody's team in the NBA. But again, that goes to show you how hard it is to be on a roster somewhere.
Kobe looks really good though, man. Like he looks really good. Shooting really good. Hey,
Wizards could probably use him from what I see.
for sure. For sure. Of course, I would love for him to go to LA and
Which LA? Lakers or Clippers? He's
Lakers.
not going to. He's not going to Clippers. That's over with.
Yeah, I would love for him to go to the Lakers. We got shot clock news. The Iowa High School Federation passes a rule to allow the shot clock starting in the 2022-2023 season. They'll use a 35-second shot clock. Iowa becomes the 10th state to adopt a shot clock. And just as it's been everywhere else, including here in Georgia, you got some of the smaller schools that are really kind of complaining about it and upset about the shot clock. And then you have schools that are in larger communities that are really, really happy about it. So just want to toss it out to you guys. Does anybody have news when we'll finally see a shot clock in Georgia outside of AAU and special events? Like, when are we gonna?
Another
You're 1 year.
When are we stepping
We're
into
1
it?
year away, right?
Yeah, 1 year away. Like I think it's in region tournaments this year. Every region tournament has to have it this year.
I think is that optional or is that everyone that has to have it?
I think you may be right, Fonzo.
Because I think it's optional, and
That
they
ain't right.
got to vote on it and whatever the case may be. But next year, regardless, it's going to happen. Hook or crook is going to happen.
Optional. I mean, like that doesn't make sense to me because if you're a team that doesn't play with a shot clock all year and then you go into region tournament, you don't have you're done. I don't think that makes sense. And then you're just not used to it. The referees aren't used to it. Like that doesn't even make sense to me.
No, I agree, but that's some of the stuff that I was hearing because and I said the same thing because then you don't play with it the entire year. You have them and then all of a sudden. And again, I could be 100% wrong, and I'm sure somebody will leave a message about that. But you just want to be able to, because even if you go next year with it, everyone's going to need to do it. So, and I know there's probably coaches out there who use it now or have used it at some form of practice. I know when I was with Coach Joe Dix at East Hall, we wanted to play fast, so we used it we dusted one off and used it a few times, but everyone's going to have it soon, and whether they like it or not, it's here.
Shot clock is here. Don't get me wrong. I understand some of the small schools that were complaining about it. I completely understand. However, I will question them on this thing. Does your football team play with a play clock?
Yes, they do.
If your football team has a play clock, then the kids on your basketball team should be able to adjust to a shot clock without much fuss.
But
if you can find clock keepers to
Dre,
but the football clock has been there.
Dre, let's be honest though, it's not about the coach. It's not about the kids. It's about the coaches. The coaching got to adjust.
I wasn't gonna say that directly, B, but I mean, since you called it out, there it is.
Well, I mean,
I'm not saying that to even like be rude or anything, but I mean, like if I know I'm coaching with the shot clock, I got to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, well, I'm gonna probably have to add in some more quick hitters, some more plays under 15 seconds to where I know that I can get a shot or I can, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna have to go and really add some more stuff into your book, into your bag or whatever you want to call it, because it's like there's more possessions, so you got to have some more things that you can Can't just run.
Are we gonna keep it
get
real?
round for it.
Are we gonna keep it real and call out right now who we think is gonna struggle the most with this shot clock in Georgia?
Whoever doesn't, I can't necessarily call
Are
them
we gonna
out.
take it there?
No, but whoever already is offensive minded is going to struggle. I think.
I just want to see how real we was gonna keep it. That's all.
I mean, who are we talking about? Say a school.
Right. Like if you're gonna sit there and throw that out there, and you must have someone in mind.
Hey, you don't want to ask me.
I'm not gonna do it, Huff. I'm not gonna do that to you, bro.
You don't want to ask me.
Hey, I had to just black myself out for a minute. Like,
Look,
Hey.
they always put it on me because they know I'll do it. I'm not gonna do it. We're gonna watch the games play out, man. If they're not gonna jump out the window, I'm not going to.
Hey,
Look,
all I'll say is the shot clock benefits these kids who want to play at next level. And I know everybody in high school is not playing at the next level, but part of your job as a coach is to prepare these guys. Just like a teacher's job is to prepare a student to go to college, whether all of them are going to college or not, right? So, for instance, for us, we've been doing open gyms, and even in open gym, guess what's running? The shot clock.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But and I look at it, it's preparing them for life. When I say life, just life after high school, like you said. If they're not going to play with a shot clock, then they're not going to play with a shot clock. That's fine. You know what I mean? But don't expect them when you got a player that you're like, oh, why is this school not recruiting that? Because some college coaches, and I'll leave Huff can respond to this or not. Some college coaches can tell whether a kid knows how to play with some time on his head, because it's time and score and understanding how to play. And when you don't have a shot clock, you don't have opportunities to see how a kid is able to do under that kind of pressure. So you should prepare them to play, whether they, like Cup said, whether they're going to play at the next level or not. Just prepare them.
The programs that are going to struggle are the ones that have the coaches that I think that try to control the tempo. They try to overcoach. And I don't think you can have quick hitters and you can have some stuff to go to, but you can't overcoach with a shot clock necessarily. You know what I mean? Because you can't coach every single possession. Your players have to be able to make decisions, and being able to, without a shot clock, you can literally coach every single possession if you wanted to, especially in the fourth quarter, and you can control the game as much. It's kind of a little different when you got a shot clock. And I think the teams that play a certain pace, those schools that play a certain pace, I think they're going to have some issues. The ones that like to slow it down and do all, they could possibly have some issues if you're not making shots. If you're making shots, then it'll work out for you.
It was just like when Huff had that squad of, Kobe and Kaiser and Malik, and they had, that team wanted to hold the ball, and they was just bored, and they became internet sensations, not just for basketball, but when you hold it like that, no, people don't want to see that. That's not what the game was made to be. So coaches, again, may need to get into their bag and understand how to. I mean, they've had plenty of time to prepare for it. We was all in timeout for about a year and a half, so they could have prepared for it. Don't wait until it happens next year to try to start thinking about it.
I agree. Needs to happen. Huff, on this next one, if you actually do want to black out your screen or whatever you want to do, I'm okay with you. I know you can't talk about any players. We don't want to get you in any kind of trouble. I'm hoping you can make some general statements.
Don't do it, Huff. Just listen.
But
I'm blacking out.
We're going to keep you out of trouble on this one. I took a look at the 2022 class on ESPN. The top 100 on ESPN. We have 3 guys from Georgia: Bruce Thornton, we got Dylan, and Zacho Littleton. 3 guys, would have had 4. Of course, Scooter Henderson is not on the list because he's in the G League right now. But 3 guys in the top 100. Just wanted to open up to your thoughts overall on the 2022 class. What do y'all guys think about the depth, about the talent pool in the 2022 class?
I think, and not to kind of change your question, I think for a long time we always thought 2021 was going to be the best class to come out of Georgia. for a long time. But 2022, I think, has shown that they're really good. Bruce Thornton's really good. Zach O'Little, all of them, the names that you just mentioned, every time that they play in they show up. You know what I mean? Like they
Mhm.
show up. There's no doubt about it. Like they deserve to be in the top 100. And I think that they're going to even show that even more this senior year that they are why they're there for a reason. Like Bruce Thornton and those guys have been in the spotlight for since they were younger, and they haven't let us down. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they haven't. Like so, there's nothing we can say about that. I think they're good.
I think
They're
there's
good.
a lot of depth in that 2022 class, whereas the 2021 class was a little bit top heavy. Um, a lot of depth in that 2022 class because even when you step away from those guys, you still have the Chauncey Wiggins of the world, Robert Cowherds. Like you still have
Do
a
we
lot
want
of
to talk
players.
about that last name right there? We
He
want to
out of
mention
here.
him?
Yeah,
He's
he's
out
not
of
here.
here.
Yeah, he's not here no more, my guy. He's in
Where's,
Cali.
He packing them bags and putting them toes
Yeah.
in the West
Hey,
Coast, baby.
I can't be mad at him. My boy gonna be in Southern California in Venice Beach or wherever he's gonna be.
where
Yes,
did he
sir.
go? Where did Robert Cowherd go?
He's going to the school. What is it called?
It's Southern California Academy or something like
Yeah,
that.
he's
Hold
going
on.
there. He just posted it on Twitter.
Good night,
Yep.
man. Somebody say a prayer.
He
Somebody
out
check
of
on
here.
He
somebody
out
check
here.
on my guy Pierce, man.
Yeah, Southern
Yeah,
California
he
Academy.
just posted it.
That's the team that hey, Dre, that's the team that came in here looking like with mismatched jerseys and short
Yeah,
shorts
and getting it
playing.
done though.
He's gonna be playing with them and he's getting it done. Coach
Yeah,
V is getting it done.
he might want to go to. He might want to go to school on the West Coast. Maybe that's why he's doing it. I don't know, but the kid's good already. But
Yes,
yeah,
he already.
he came on the radar. I wish we'd have got to play them. He had some goons. He got some goons.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
oh
that's
yeah.
crazy.
He came out here with 7 players
Mm-hmm.
and did what he had to do, and then returned with only what 1 or 2 other players because one of his players got hurt. But yep, Cowherd is West Coast bound.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, we're losing our guys out of the state, man. We lose.
Yeah.
We lost
Okay,
BJ. We lost
Hey,
Robbie.
before you lost all of them, you guys didn't realize that Kyrie Walker was a you might have. So
I
because
have.
I
I
did.
know.
Kyrie
Oh,
I
I
Walker
know.
did.
is a kid too.
Yes, he is via Cleveland. But yes, you know
Yeah,
he spent some time here in Atlanta.
you spent some time here. You played with Georgia United. T.
Yep.
Is this my time to
And
be an old man and complain that I don't like these transfers out of state? I don't.
listen,
Yeah, it hurts.
it,
It
it,
hurts us. It
it
We're
does.
hurts.
already losing 2023s.
But listen, here's the thing. It's the curse of being a good basketball state. All right. It's because then they realize, oh, someone can come in and convince an athlete, hey, or a player, hey, you might not get no time, or we're going to offer a better opportunity. Sometimes, and I'll just say it, like people do chase state championships, and some people when they don't get it at that point, they figure, all right, let me go get another opportunity somewhere else.
He's going to be seen by a lot of those West Coast schools, probably.
Well, yeah, and based on what they have on their roster right now, man, it's only going to be more schools coming out that way to go, and just because again, Coach V came here and showed that he's capable of coaching at a high level, then you put him with more multi-talented kids on the roster at any given time. He's putting something together special out there. So
Yeah.
happy for Robert and happy for Coach V and what he's doing.
I'm happy for Robert. And I hate to say it like that. I am happy for the kid. But
Come on.
no, man. We missed. Look, Georgia is a grind, and there were battles that we missed.
Yep.
Right? Like I went to go see Thurl and Pebblebrook play, and Robbie Ambruster didn't play. That's a different basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like there are different. You know what I mean? It makes some of our matchups different. That's okay, I guess. You know what I mean? We got talent, but I picked Grayson as a sleeper this year because of Robert Cowherd and the guys that they were bringing back.
Was that in the too early to prediction bracket?
Way too early prediction, yes.
Gotcha.
Grayson was my sleeper.
Listen,
I gotta call Pierce, man. I gotta buy Pierce some wings, man. I feel like my guys. We got to make sure my guys are all right.
I'm sure he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, Dylan Hunter did leave us for Yipsy last year.
Yep.
And then trying to come home, and I think
Nah, he's in Kansas, sir.
Nah, he's going to Sunrise now.
He in Kansas, sir.
So people made it hard, I think, for him to come back. So that's tough. I hate to see our guys leave. We talk about Chase and Cohen Carr going out to Legacy Early College, which I love those guys at Legacy Early, but I hate to see those young 2023 guys leave. As we talk about the 2023 class, I'm going to say something way too early. I think the 2023 class is even better than the 2022 class.
No, that's just based on how they develop. It's definitely a good class to watch because that's actually the class I enjoy. I mean, nothing against the 22, but there's a lot of talent across the country in that 23 class. It's going to be exciting to watch.
Isaiah Collier, Kanan Carlisle, Guy Choi, all in the ESPN top 60 for 2023. Guy Choi is a 7-footer that's doing Euros and finishing over the top, dunking on people. It's crazy.
Do that again?
What he's doing at Green Forest. You're not getting me to do that again. You gotta catch it live.
2023 has some really talented guys. I think Isaiah Collier is special.
Very.
I mean,
very
special.
Hey, where do we rank Isaiah versus a Sharif if Isaiah finishes his high school career with 4 state championships?
Well, Sharif.
Where do we rank Isaiah, period?
Well, Sharif also did a lot of things too. Like he went down to, he went to what's it called in Florida. He won that, got MVP. So you can't just go off state championship.
Yeah, I was gonna say you just not just the state championships. He's got to do some other things. I mean, try to take Wheeler to an undefeated season. Which is what Sharif did as well. I mean, no matter who was in front, they played what was on the schedule and they beat him. You know what I mean? So he's gonna have to do that. But also in that 23 class, the one, and his stock is rising, but it's one that people still need to have a conversation about. Is the Stephon Castle, who, while you look at ESPN, I mean, there's
Newton's whole team.
Oh yeah. Their entire their young squad, who everyone is paying attention to. You got in the 22 class, you got TJ Clark, who he smashes the gas on just playing, but you have that squad, but he is Stephon Castle. He's the name that everyone talks about in that group of kids in the 23 who now people are really paying attention. Many of us in the state who had a chance to watch him early before he got onto the travel circuit, he certainly has proven that he's more than capable of not only running a program, but being in the conversation, not only just amongst the kids in the state, but also kids around the country.
As we say, at least as I've always said, if you're in the top 5 in your class in the state of Georgia, you have a chance now to be a McDonald's All-American. If you're top 3 in your class in the state of Georgia, you're probably in the McDonald's conversation. If you're top 5, you still got a chance, got an outside chance. We're all talking about guys that could finish in that top 5 of the class, or at least have an argument. Okay, Huff, we're done.
I just Huff, I just want to be able to get the synergy on your workouts right now in y'all gym. I need to see somebody.
Hey man, it's very competitive. That's what I'll tell you.
Hey, listen, I like it. Like to
I'll be
hear it.
down this weekend, Huff. Do we want to plug your elite
And
camp?
man, we're excited about Elite Camp, man. We got some Georgia guys that'll be down, some guys that people have watched all summer down for Elite Camp. So excited to see what those guys have to offer, man. I think it's going to be really good, man. It's going to be really competitive. We're going to basically put them through a semi-college practice. Obviously, allow them to play, against each other, but they're going to be put through a college practice, which I think is a little bit different than a lot of elite camps. So, kind of excited about that opportunity right now, man. Can't wait.
For sure. We got a couple other things that we want to pub also. Want to make sure you save the date. Georgia State basketball coaches clinic Saturday, October the 9th. Free admission. More details coming soon. Coaches, I can't say it enough. As an AAU director, this is the type of event that you want to go to. An AAU coach, a high school coach, a middle school coach, right? Like it's a coaching clinic on a college campus for free. You definitely want to be a part of it. It's something that you want to attend. What I found that people don't think about is not just what you learn X and O's too, but the relationships that you create, the networking that happens. You never know what type of coach you're going to meet, who you're going to see, who may help you with something, or who you may be able to help. Just never know. It's a great event. Also, our Love of the Game guys are everywhere. Shout out to Hoops Hitting Gems, who will be at the CP3 Rising Star Showcase this coming weekend. Hoops Hitting Gems will be out there covering that event, and we'll have updates on his show, the Hoops Hitting Gems podcast on Monday. So, shout out to guys out there getting it done as Love of the Game tries to cover this game from coast to coast. Doing commercials is not going to be my primary job. It's not. Hey,
when you hit the big time, like they do on the radio spots, you got to do the commercials in between, man.
I got to work on my voice for that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
See. I got to develop. Those are my turnovers, Huff. Those are my turnovers.
You better get them back on D. Better get it back on D now.
LaMelo Ball caused a little bit of a stir a little bit. Do we want to talk about what LaMelo said?
He said he ain't tripping over no school, dog.
Yeah, LaMelo says that. Hold on, I think I got the quote. I don't want to misquote the kid.
My only problem with the quote is the way that he said it shows.
Yes.
He says,
"Yeah,
we're not tripping off school. We're not dumb.
That's
we know
3 grammatical errors right there.
We don't need school, and school not even teaching you nothing." Okay, I'm gonna leave it there.
I understand his point, and he is right. Obviously, he doesn't need a thing from school, clearly. However, the way he said it shows that he could use the few classes here and there.
He could have.
But I agree with him. I understand his point and his philosophy. And I think it makes sense that these guys are cashing out now. They getting to the bag, bro. And it's like somebody on Twitter made a great point. Most of these dudes are trying to make a roster spot, and a lot of them don't ever touch $1 million. These dudes are touching millions of dollars out of high school or in high school. Some of them, like, they don't need it, bro. They don't need school. Let's keep it a buck. If they do what they're supposed to do with their money and they invest it the right way, and they whatever their plan is over the next course of their lifetime, they don't need school. They don't need it.
And I don't disagree with you. I mean, again, it was more of how he said it and what he said it. Because first of all, a small percentage are going to be able to make that bounce like he did. to be able to go from high school, even when they open it up next year, to be able to get into the league. We understand that. The only thing I would want to suggest to LaMelo and Huff, I know you're an English major, like myself as a communication major. Go read a book, bruh. Like, go read a book on a regular. Increase your vocabulary. Pick a journal. Pick up a journal and just write your thoughts down, bro. Because at the end of the day, yes, he's right. For selective professions, or for selective opportunities, you don't need school, but you could use some guidance. You could use opening your mind up to other things, being able to read some stuff and increase your vocabulary. Because when he goes into a business meeting, whether as LaMelo Ball or the Big Baller brand, someone wants to know that if they're going to throw a mic in front of your face, that you have common sense to be able to speak accordingly. And when I say articulately, he's not dumb, he's just young. And I think that's what got him caught up. He's a young kid who's 19 years old, who he's shown that there's things that he doesn't take serious. Basketball he takes serious. That's what he'll focus on. But I just want him to be able to, on his off time while he's out in Cali, pick up a book, man. Just hang out, have a good time.
And not only that, man, he can media training, learning the language of contracts, which hopefully Dad has kind of taught him a little bit of that, as well as learning about portfolios, man, investments. Like that's not school, but those are things he could to take some time to do.
Right, and like even Dr. Love just said, there's a lot of kids, which I'm going to get on my educational soapbox here. Not every kid's going to go to college. All right. So let's help prepare them for trade schools. Let's help prepare them for stuff outside of here, because there's still a world that, we could sit here. You could either be a ditch digger, a refrigerator carrier, a welder, carpenter, whatever, but be the best at it. And you can go ahead and have an opportunity where you go 2 years in. Some people who go to school in 2 years, they make more money than individuals who end up with a 4-year degree, because you got some people who are linemen making 6 figures and a year or two right after trade school. So just find something and be passionate about. He just, like I said, like Huff just finished saying, no media training, because his dad is savvy enough and articulate enough that he understands how to navigate the space of media, which is why when they were in high school, he was masterful. He put on a clinic on how to get publicity. He put out a master class on how to gain attention. LaMelo is got to get that figured out, and Jello's got to get it figured out too. Because sometimes I just wonder if he's even awake. Just because every time he talks, it's almost as if he's just waking up, like, and he doesn't have as much media savvy training either. But again, that I know that I want them to succeed. I want LaMelo to succeed, because I think he could truly be the next wave of faces for the NBA. He's just got to gain some other training to be able to make him continue to grow what he is.
So, but why did the middle one go get all those tattoos? Now he looked like
you still caught up on that? You still caught up on that?
Bryce is not letting it go, man.
You still caught up on that?
How how some dudes get tattoos that match them as a basketball players.
Yes.
He just he doesn't like none of that shit.
Well, look, and I'm gonna defend him in this point. He ain't been playing no ball. He ain't been paying no attention. He needed something to do.
He did. He must be bored.
He needed something to do.
He trying to get back to the league. You think all that shit look good under that jersey? All that.
He was processing, man. He was processing. He was going through it.
Processing a lot, because he ain't got no spot left. At least on somewhere like J.R. Smith, they're darker, so you can't see all of them.
Correct.
And
actually, if you see his brother Zoe's tattoos, a lot of them have some meaning. Like he's got a sleeve with Malcolm X and
Yeah.
and Muhammad Ali and stuff
Which
like
I'm
that.
okay
But
with the sleeve. Like I'm okay with that. But now you talking about on your knuckles.
yeah. He was
What you
bored, man.
what you
Or I'm gonna defend him again. His boy was trying to get in the tattoo business and he let him just do all the work on him. I mean, we all been there when your boy trying to give you haircuts.
he
You know what
looked
I'm
like
saying?
He looked like Chris Birdman Anderson. That's the look he going for. Then go ahead.
Go for it. He just got to rebound better.
That I'm gonna go to LaMelo, man. One thing that I think he's pointing out, and I don't want to give him too much credit, but I think there is some genius into even how he said what he said. To me, LaMelo is probably the most like his dad than any of the other kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said it the way he said it, it got the conversation to go. He
But
just didn't follow it with what needed to be said following that statement. Or maybe he did because
no,
we
he
literally
did. He did. He went
okay.
on Instagram and basically backpedaled a little. All right, backpedaled about, if you need to be a doctor or a lawyer, yeah, you got to go to school. So he backpedaled a little bit, not completely off of the no, you don't need school. He just kind of made a point, which is true. If you're trying to be a doctor or a lawyer, even if you come out of and you study every book possible, you still got to go to school to somehow pass the bar.
Here's one thing that I wondered if he has taken into account of, or what it immediately made me think, right? My kid is almost the same age as LaMelo,
Mm-hmm.
right? LaMelo has grown up in a world where the adults that he knows are cash strapped by those same degrees that everybody is so proud of.
True.
Because we talk about it on his face about get your degree, gotta have something to fall back on, But that student loan for a lot of people is the thing that's holding them back.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what's propelling them forward.
Right.
Their degree did not return the investment as far as how much it actually costs to get.
That stopped 30 years ago, but go ahead.
And that wait a minute. What stopped 30 years ago? Student loans?
No,
I was about to say
the
they definitely have not.
no. I'm not saying the stopping the 30 years ago the loan, stopping of the conversation where go get a degree and you'll get the return on investment. That that stopped 30 years ago because the jobs aren't translating based on what you're studying.
Yeah,
it's
they're not
not.
paying
And I
that.
feel like that conversation is not being had enough though.
Well, also,
But Dre, you don't got to be a rocket science to see that that's the case. Like, if you can look at your salary and look at how much you pay for your education and say, okay, well, I ain't never gonna pay this shit off. Like,
well, no, but look,
Right.
but like
Are we having that conversation though for kids to understand? Because I'm still hearing people almost seem like, oh, well, once I get my degree, then it's this, it's that. There are so many people who are struggling to even find a job.
because that's what we're sold, not only from our parents before, what I mean, you're obviously not telling, you're telling your son something, you know what I'm saying? You're telling your player something, and we're like, okay, you got to go to school and all these things, but on the flip side of it, unfortunately, let's just say three of us here are educators that if you would have worked at a Title I school for 5-10 years, yeah, your loan should be chopped off down. That's just my opinion, and of course somebody's gonna say, well, I've been paying my loan since I first came out of school. All right, cool, I get it. But you got to you have to those, or even like nurses or even doctors, like if you work in a less affluent community, you should be able to get something knocked off before you move on to your next spot. That's just me. Because you're giving back, you're using your degree to give back to a lesser affluent community or financial, and then be like, oh, your reward is okay, we're going to knock some off, if not all of it off, and then you could just move on to go do whatever you want at another area that's more affluent, more beneficial. But in some cases, it doesn't happen. So people just try to. But I have a problem when people just go get majors just to say they want to get majors, and they're not. Let's say somebody says, "Oh, I want to study psychology." Great. And my first question after that is, what are you going to do after that? Are you going to go to get your doctorate? Because what are you going to do with a psychology degree? Just have it so that when you're in a relationship, you can analyze the person you're with. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I mean, and now if you do it as a profession, by all means, look, I'll let you analyze me. But if you're gonna you're just gonna get it just to be like, yo, I want to study all this just so I can analyze someone else. No, I don't know.
We got to have that conversation.
As a side plug, that's why I love Voorhees. Entrepreneurship major that we have here. It's great. Not just a business major, but an actual entrepreneurship major.
And that's and Huff. Now you said you hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head because Voorhees has an entrepreneurial program where most schools has business majors that, again, kids are like, oh, I want to run a business, but they don't know what they really want to do. They want to study business, but they don't understand what they want to do. So, I mean, I was listening to this morning on the radio, on YouTube, and where, DJ Envy, yeah, he's into real estate. His daughter didn't go to Hampton. He pulled her from Hampton so she could go to NYU because why? NYU had a real estate program, and that's what she wants to do. She doesn't want to study business and spend time just studying general business. She wanted to dive into real estate or entrepreneurship. You guys got it going on in that sense that those kids get to, and I'm certain your professors have been in those fields and have the experience in those fields that they can really guide your student body to what it is that they want to study or pursue afterwards.
That Voorhees staff locked in, bro. Guys, while we talking about education and the importance of, Mo B is back.
Mm-hmm.
After losing their accreditation 20 years ago, Morris Brown is now back. Anybody want to give a shout out? Any thoughts about Mo B coming back? Did we think
my time in the AUC was great because Mo B was there. I'm happy they're back. Bryce, I don't think they were there when you were on campus, man. It was.
I will say this, and again, Huff, I don't have your experience, and I wish I did, but I will say this on a general standpoint, it's good for the city and good for the state of Georgia. It's good because I know a few people who, just like I'm sure most of us do, especially you, Huff, many people who graduated from there that when they lost their accreditation, it hurt them. Yep. And that's just the casualties at that time, the casualties of HBCU finances, and the fact that they're able to get back and get accredited and start trajectorying in that positive direction. It's good for Atlanta. I can't emphasize it enough because it provides another opportunity for kids. Here we go, who could go there to school and excel and get another experience that they would not have been able to get had Mo Brown had never come back.
I mean, if you go back and look at probably from mid-90s all the way back and realize how many important people in the city of Atlanta graduated from Morris Brown, like you'll understand the importance of that institution to the city of Atlanta, but also to the AUC. A lot of people always talk about, obviously, my alma mater, Morehouse College. They talk about Spelman, and they even talk about Clark Atlanta. But we very seldom now that we talk about Morris Brown. I think that needs to change because I think they're just as important a part of the AUC as the other three schools.
Absolutely.
So having them back is just like Fonzo said, is great for the city. It's great for the AUC. I hope this thing keeps building up. Just like one of our comments said, I mean, their football stadium is the best one at the AUC because what happened was when the Olympics came, Each school got something, right? And so the stadium at Morris Brown was what the AU or what the Olympics brought for them. And you go to Clark, and what Clark got was they got the kind of softball extension to their football field, and Morehouse got Forbes Arena. So everybody got something out the Olympics, and to see that kind of go down the drain for so many years, like if you go on YouTube and type and put in Herndon Stadium and see what it was to what it is, shoot, Drumline was filmed over there.
I was about to ask that, because I remember seeing the colors
Yeah.
and going, yo, that's Morris Brown over there.
Yeah. I mean, if I go back to college now, some of the best times of my life were at Morris Brown.
Listen, don't disrespect it right now. Look, we're on the airwaves. We're on the airwaves, and this is being recorded. Don't.
I'm just saying that was great. They had great homecoming concerts. Really,
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
I can't wait for them to be able to get back to it. I'm excited. For that to return to the city.
And you know how important it was, Dre. Graduates would still have homecoming. They would still go to Morris Brown's campus.
Yes.
And have homecoming and reunions and stuff.
No, and I went to one, and I was like, and I thought that's when I became envious.
Yeah.
About not going to an HBCU, because I've experienced and hung out at other spots, but they didn't have a school, they didn't have nothing, and they were literally still going and meeting up at or near Morris Brown just to embrace and celebrate everyone who went to Morris Brown. And it was a beautiful event. It's a beautiful event.
And remember, no matter how much of the gentrification that has went on down by Mercedes-Benz Stadium,
that ain't moving, baby.
They not moving that stuff at
Morris Brown. They not moving.
So that history's still there.
You could build around it, baby.
I love it. I just look at it as, to me, another great opportunity for kids in the state, in and around the city. It's another opportunity for kids that maybe couldn't get into Morehouse, or maybe couldn't find their fit at Clark or Spelman, or you know what I mean? Now they got another opportunity, another place to go to be a part of such a great legacy or great history of the city.
And to add on to it, it's just like getting Payne back in Augusta. Payne getting their accreditation back is another great HBCU getting back on the right track.
I absolutely love it, man. I want all the details. I want to know if y'all gonna have a basketball team, a football team. Just bring basketball back. Don't even worry about it. Just bring basketball back.
Give them some time, Trey. Give them some time, man.
Yeah, they're gonna give them some time, but
I got a list of names. If y'all looking for a coach, I got a list of names already.
But I will say this. I will say this: when they do come back, the one thing I really want to see happen is they continue to put forth the tradition, and more importantly, build it where it has sustainability. Return it where it has sustainability, so that there isn't a fear of this might happen again. Agreed. Because I think if it when it comes back the way it's, I would hope so. You want it to continue to grow. You want it to continue to vibe, because them coming back, or with that cluster of schools down there, it reminds me of my time when I was in Raleigh, where you have Shaw, St. Augustine, right there near each other. That it provides that sense of pride and provides that sense of community and family. While they're all rivals, they're excited about what's going on.
Yes, Morris Brown did, Miss Carr.
Yep.
Awesome. We got more great Georgia and Atlanta news. Huff, we know you can't talk about any specific players with this, but just from an event standpoint, Hoops Given announced some of the teams that'll be here for their event, for their high school event. Hoops Given has stretched out to be a college event that's played at State Farm Arena, and also a high school event that I believe will go back to Holy Innocents. I'm not sure. Huff may know better than I do. But the 2021 slate is November 26th and 27th. As always, it features some of the top talent in the country: Chris Livingston, Colin Chandler, Isaiah Collier, Jordan Wash, Robert Dillingham, Zion Cruz, Elijah Fisher, and many others are slated to attend. Just want to toss out to you guys about what an event like Hoops Given actually means to Georgia basketball and what we do here.
I want to first start. My bad, Fonzo.
No, you good. You good.
You've got to put some respect on Chris Williams' name.
Absolutely.
Because
For sure.
sometimes people look at pictures or they look at things and they say, is somebody trying to boost themselves up? No, what he's trying to say is he knows where that event started, where there was nobody in the gym. Like, and it didn't add a pub to where it is right now. It's, if not top 5, definitely top 10 events in the nation as far as high school events. And then you add to the fact of him adding the college portion with it. That's nothing but respect for what Chris Williams has done and his brand, V Group, and everything about it. And I think it's so big for Georgia. When you talk about that event, it's a reason why that event is big, because a lot of kids want to play in that event if they're considered at that level. Schools are always looking to try to get into that event, whether they know or not that it's not a let me ask to get in event. It is a you're asked to play in that event 9 times out of 10. And lastly, it's an event where college coaches look to go to, because they know they're going to be able to see a plethora of talent on those 2 days at one location. And when you talk about during a season, that's very important for college coaches. It's hard for us to go out and watch one game of one kid one night and then turn around and go home. But if I can go to a place and see 6 games with however many college available athletes are out on the court, that's so much more beneficial for us.
Well, that's where I was headed. I wasn't headed there first, but now I'm gonna go backwards with everything that Huff just said. He'll be here Thanksgiving weekend and to attend that event, because it is the best. It is the best time for any college coach, because during that time, college coaches are at their holiday events, and there's enough college coaches on each staff that can make at least one coach show up just to go see the talent while the other team is practicing before any Thanksgiving event, or this coach is going to meet them at the venue. Then I want to take my hat off to Chris, because when he started this, I remember him giving me a call and we were just talking about teams to get into this event, and you were in the event yourself because you had a talented group, Huff, and I told him, I was like, I think weren't you guys matched up with a team from Utah?
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember he asked me about that. I was like, dude, just the fact that they're going to see somebody that isn't from the region is important, because at that time it was a great opportunity to see where you guys were at St. Francis against a different group of kids, different style of game. But the beauty about what he does, meaning Chris, with the 7th group, is he puts together matchups that, based on what teams have on paper, they're the best matchups you're going to find in the country. And I was in Florida where a program was like, I was on the staff and they were like, oh, can you get us into hoop game? And I'm like, dude, I could call Chris, but he's good. It's an invite situation, and if you don't have a kid where he is in the top 100, that's where your first invite or first peak of interest is going to come out. Or if he hasn't had a chance to see any kid on your program, that's where the invites are going to come out. All right. He's not, not even in his first year. Yeah, you would have been able to call and gotten in. But then after that, it was a wrap. Because you think about that atmosphere, and I wasn't there, but think about that atmosphere with Colin Sexton and Trayvon Duval.
Yes.
That atmosphere was crazy, and I was watching it from afar, mad at myself that I wasn't in Atlanta.
Standing on the baseline, baby.
Yes. So that's the kind of event and matchup it has been. And then even if you go into the back gym, I know he's not putting no bums back there either, because it was at Holy Innocents at the time. You know,
No.
he's not putting no cheap matchups that you have to make a decision. And then it's not just the guys, it's the girls that he's putting out there as well. You know, he's putting great matchups on between both groups, both boys and girls. So it's a great stage and a great opportunity not only to present Atlanta during the holidays, but it's also a great opportunity to showcase the talent across the country. Meaning, I think that first year, and again, Huff, correct me if I'm wrong, it pretty much was Georgia versus everybody else. You know, like the matchups was always against somebody from another part of the country. It wasn't. There was very few Georgia matchups.
I remember distinctly one year. I think actually it was the last time that I attended the event. There was a coach from out of town making a big fuss at the coaches check-in table about, oh, y'all got me in the back gym. I don't play in the back gym. We ain't never played in the back gym. Like he's going on, right? He goes to play in the back gym, and I think they were playing Shiloh, and got beat by 20.
It happens. It happens.
That hoops giving is no joint, no joke. Whether you're in the front or whether you're in the back.
And this is how you know how big it is. I remember the last year when I was at Holy Innocents, when it was still there, when it was there last time. And I remember a college team, they were flying in from playing, I think, in the Bahamas. And they took a direct flight from Bahamas to come to Atlanta. The assistant that was there had to go pick the head coach up from the airport and bring him back so they could watch those games. That's how important of an event it was.
It's very serious.
And the fact that, and again, I didn't touch on this, but what Chris did in his seven group did to provide this stage for the college programs to play during that time, or just last year as his inaugural event, was impressive. Yep. Especially because it was a pandemic. There are
a lot of people that would have said, "Forget it. Let's wait the next."
Yes, absolutely. A lot of people would have threw their hands up and been like, "All right, I'm good." But nah, the show must go on with Chris, and he did a great job putting that together, and he does a great job promoting it around the state, or and being able to just make things work the way they're supposed to.
I think if we're going to be honest about it, Hoopsgiving is the catalyst for every other big event, high school event, that has then taken off since that point in Georgia.
That's fair.
Fair enough.
Whether you're talking about Tournament of Champions, whether you're talking about the Naismith Classic, all those things stem from it can be done because we saw it done at Hoopsgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. And all those other events are incredible events as well. It's just an amazing platform. And I always bring it up because I never want us to take it for granted in Georgia, because you never know when something could happen and cause this run to be over. So we just have a tremendous platform.
Dre, you're right, man, because I think sometimes, even when I was a high school head coach, and even now, I go, man, there's so many doggone events in Georgia, especially during the holiday period. Which one am I going to go to? But that's a good thing, man, because there are a lot of the states that wish they had some of the stuff that we had to offer for kids who play here. Man, I don't care whatever you think your team is. There's an event you can go to in Georgia that can probably equal beach ball and City of Palms. May not be as up there, but it can be close to it for whatever kind of level you think your team is.
Well, I will say this. There are a lot of events in Georgia that are not that far from beach ball and City of Palms. Because even again, let's talk about last year's pandemic and what have you. I mean, that was still a show in Shiloh. That was still a show. And
capacity and everything.
Yes, that's what I mean. It was still a show. Whereas City of Palms, unfortunately, they canceled. You know, and I didn't go to beach ball, and I saw the images and things like that, and they played, but he was able to manage. Meaning Chris was able to manage it and do a quality job, just like TOC and a few other events. They were able to manage it during the pandemic, which I was trying to figure out if it was going to happen. But it was good for it was good for anyone, and if you get a chance to come, try to get your no matter where you at, wherever you're listening to this podcast at, is bring your team, because whether you win a game or you lose all of them, the experience is going to be second to none.
I would agree. Incredible. And shout out to the Lemon Street Classic that also went last year,
Mhm.
and it's going to return this year. Be after Thanksgiving, Christmas time, but we're talking about another great event. As we get ready to wind down, man, I saw a great interview. I don't know if you guys got a chance to listen to it, but Kevin Durant sat down with Draymond Green on Draymond's podcast on the Bleacher Report, and they had a great.
What makes that a great interview?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand
That
it because
interview was not good.
It was two friends. Well, I enjoyed it because I feel like Draymond didn't beat around the bush, and they got right to it.
But when is he ever going to beat around the bush? When has he ever beat around the bush?
But I appreciate that though, because it wasn't the same energy though when Draymond was on KD's podcast. It wasn't that direct.
But do you think they did a lot? Do you think they both did a lot of blaming of other people?
They blamed everybody but themselves for the situation. Them the only two dudes that's on the court playing. They blame the general man. They blame everybody in the front office. From what I saw, I kind of wasn't even paying attention to it. I kind of thought it was kind of like stupid. That's like when kids and parents blame the AAU coach or the high school coach for their lack of production. Like, bro, you can't do that. And they were mad that Draymond got suspended a game or something. I'm like, okay,
I thought that was fair.
Yeah, that might have been fair, but it was like, you guys did it. You guys are like, come on, bro. I don't know. That interview was trash to me. And I see what they're doing. I feel like Draymond trying to lead himself into his next phase of his career, which
yes, I agree with that.
I get it.
I agree with that. I agree with that now.
But that interview was nothing compared to, and maybe it's one of his first one. No, it's not his first, because he's been doing finals and stuff like that. That interview was nothing like Matt Barnes' interviews. Nothing compared to, we talking about these guys who are going from the league to interviewing and whatever, commentating. It wasn't, I wouldn't watch that. Like, if it, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't watch him. I wouldn't watch that shit no more.
See, and I thought it was better. I thought it was better. I really did.
I just thought it was perfectly placed after they both played on the USA Olympics.
Yes.
To come out with this now and say why it's so much better.
Exactly.
Why we're kumbaya.
Mm-hmm. We're video.
Here's a real reason I love Golden State.
Yeah, we're on IG Live coming through the tunnel, with our gold medals and how you like us now type stuff. So
see, I don't think they're kumbaya though. I don't think that. Even after seeing this interview, I don't think that Draymond really rocks with KD like that.
They not friends, bro.
No, they're not.
But here, I think the better thing to talk about. I think the better thing to talk about is why ABC tried to make a 1 hour special on Kobe Bryant. When you don't have enough time to talk about everything about Kobe Bryant in an hour.
No,
Draymond Green and KD are both rich black guys that say, well, we can get together and do something and see how it can go and turn it on, flip it on somebody else. That shit was a terrible idea. And the Kobe special was a terrible idea because they tried to fit all that shit in 30 minutes and it just wasn't good. It wasn't like, I stopped watching it. I'm like, bro, I can't watch this.
The Kobe special.
And then the flip side of that is, I thought the Malice in the Palace could have been longer.
Man, that needed to be longer.
I thought the Malice in the Palace was going to be like a series of like 4, you know what I mean? Like 3 or 4 different ones. I'm like, damn, it's only
should have been.
Yeah.
No, look, I anticipated it to at least be either a series, as you mentioned, or a 2 hour
Right.
event. Because
So-
I felt even in the hour they left some things out. In the
I
hour,
want
something
to
got
go
left
back
out.
to Jermaine O'Neal being upset with Ron Artest.
Dude, he's still upset.
Did anybody?
Yeah, still upset.
Does anybody think that the whole Malice in the Palace thing was a little bit planned by Detroit?
Maybe you think some people got paid to kind of start it so they could change the image of the NBA.
Not
That's what you're trying to say, Bryce?
even necessarily got paid, but it was like, I don't know. I was just getting weird vibes about that shit, and it was just like I just felt like they knew the Pacers were really good. They knew that they were on track to win. Something to me this didn't seem right. I'm like,
there are a lot of things that you're saying, Bryce. Like, why weren't there more security around the arena?
The NBA and them not having security,
But even check this. So you're telling me that you got a security guard who doesn't know who Reggie Miller is? Man, come on. I don't believe it in my life.
Not only that,
live, Bowface lied to the camera and says, I wasn't trying to pepper spray the players. Do you realize we see you on 4K?
but no, another thing, what I didn't like, and even I didn't like it then, and I definitely didn't like it now when they did it, is every media outlet, and this is again from a person who has a communications degree, and every media outlet called every single one of those guys thugs. You know, and I'm like, never once did they ever put any sort of blame during that time
on the fans at all.
At all. And
you can't.
Were they wrong though? Were they wrong?
They call him a thug because you can't call him.
Who was wrong? Who wasn't wrong?
Ron Artest. They weren't thugs back. They weren't a little off. They weren't a little thrown off back then.
I'm not saying that they weren't thrown off. Now, hold on. I mean, I know Ron Artest from Queensbridge, so I know what he's capable of doing.
Yeah, he told you he's a little bit off.
Yeah, like even on the event, even on the day of that happened, again, watching it live, when I saw the bottle hit him, I was like, yo, he is about to go kill somebody.
Which,
all right,
you gotta think about it like this, Bryce. What sane person is gonna go lay down on the scores table?
Well, but this is the thing.
Know Ron Artest,
if you watch the game, though, and I remember this vividly, Ron Artest had gotten hacked on like the previous 3 or 4 plays back to back.
That's what I'm saying. And
the refs never took control of the game.
Okay.
And on the last
think about what the ref said. The ref said, "Man, we never wanted to do Pistons games."
But look, also
play, he got hacked and pushed up underneath the basket and hits the extension of the basket. I knew at that point, oh, Ron's gonna react to that.
Okay,
he didn't react to the last 3 or 4 that y'all let Ben get away with.
If we really want to get technical, we could blame Jamal Tinsley about starting this thing because he told Ron Artest, "Go get your foul."
Which I mean, to me,
you don't tell somebody who's got some loose screws to go get your foul.
Jamal Tinsley was wrong for that.
This game to me is like a football playoff game, and you're on an away team traveling to the South, and they do some different shit to the field.
But
that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like there was more to this that they're not selling you. Like, we're gonna get these dudes today. You're gonna foul the shit out of them 4 or 5 times. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I feel
Bryce. Like. I agree with you because I remember watching this game and saying the whole time, why are they still in the game?
Right. Yes,
it's over.
And that's the point. In the game. And that's the point because you got to realize the Pistons are coming off a championship, and the Pacers had just took it to the bullies. The Pistons were the bullies. So what happens when you take it to the bully? We all know what happens when you take it to the bully.
Bully gonna get punched.
I see high school coaches do this. I see AAU coaches do this. I see college coaches do this, and I say it the same thing every time. It's over. Why are your guys still in the game? Nothing good can happen. Get your guys out of the game. You have guys on the bench for matters like this. When it's a minute, 2 minutes left, you're up by 20. You have people who you pay to do this for a reason. Get your guys out of the game, protect your guys. And they never did that, and the refs never took control of the game.
Y'all also missing the point of how the NBA was back then.
Yes.
Go back to the previous year when the Pistons beat the Pacers in the conference finals. Do you know what that final score was?
Yes.
69 to 65.
Yes. I mean, it was a different NBA, and yeah, I like that this is out there document wise, because a lot of people think that, and again, I'm not saying I don't like the NBA now, but that was, my flavor is what the NBA was. That to me, I enjoy that whole physical contact. They just went overboard with it, to be honest.
Man, there was a reason why Magic Johnson would back you all the way up the court.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because people were using their hands to move you wherever they wanted you to go.
To guide you.
Why did we get and Dave Dickerson makes a great point. Why did we get so much Jermaine O'Neal when we never really wanted Jermaine O'Neal?
Because he was the executive producer.
Got you.
Now, as much as y'all talking about Jermaine O'Neal, he had a 6-year run now, y'all.
Nah. Jermaine in Indiana was like that.
Oh, absolutely.
But he wasn't. We won Steven Jackson. We won the Ron Artest.
And Jermaine
and as Dave Dickerson just put up, we wanted Rick Mahorn and Chuck Person.
Chuck Person, I did keep that. I'm like, damn, Chuck Person been around for a long time in basketball.
Dude, he was a pacer.
Yeah,
he was a pacer.
Hey, but Donnie Walsh also took some credit. He said, maybe I was stupid to think that this was going to work, and all these different crazy personalities together. I
think what hurt people is, and Jermaine O'Neal has said this in other interviews, that that nobody understood mental health.
No, that's the truth.
Oh no,
nobody was talking about that back then.
No,
they did not understand it. They did not know how to deal with it.
And Ron Artest tried to lead.
Ron Artest said, "I need a break now."
He went to the Source Awards.
He gave out an award.
And he was dropping an album.
That's the break he needed.
That is the break he again.
Exactly.
Now, flip side. Let's go back to this.
Dennis Rodman look.
I was just about to say that. Phil Jackson let Dennis Rodman go have his break.
Look, had they let Artest have his break, they might be champions right now. Jermaine O'Neal won't be so mad.
Do the Pacers win the championship if this doesn't happen?
They had the best team out there.
Yes.
I mean, you see how they were doing them boys that night?
They had the best team out there.
That was without Reggie Miller.
They had a squad.
They do.
Who else was tough back then? What year was that?
Spurs.
It was the Pistons.
That would have been the Spurs. Would have been good.
Spurs.
They could have beat the Spurs though.
Yeah.
The Knicks was in the mix a little bit.
Mix, yeah. That'd be tough. Timmy was
that next year was the year LeBron scored like 28 straight on the Pistons and got to the finals with.
That was the downfall. That was the end of the Pistons. Then
LeBron was a rookie the following year.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Not a rookie. No. Well,
was LeBron in the league during Malice in the Palace?
I think that was his rookie season, wasn't it?
I think that was his rookie season.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff going on, man. We're gonna talk a lot more about Malice and get into it and break that stuff down, as you'll get something special from us around that. Guys, we're getting ready to close. Anybody want to make any? Oh, wait, Christmas Day games. Y'all want to pick the
the way too early to pick award again?
I don't think it's too early. Is it too early to pick who's gonna win the games on Christmas Day?
Yeah, because between now and then someone could get hurt.
Somebody could get hurt.
Right.
Hey man, I'm ready to call my shots.
I see. Have you called Vegas to call your shots? Or have you given Locke some money so he could put it out there for you?
Hey man, I'll put money up on mine.
So Cash App Locke right now, Venmo Locke. What you trying to put on?
Who's winning the Hawks versus Knicks?
I know my Knicks ain't.
I think the Hawks will win that.
Hawks.
I know my Knicks ain't.
The Hawks probably gonna win that.
And I spoken like a true fan. I know. Listen,
That's only and
I know Coach Jordan gonna get on my case.
And spoken like a true fan, I'm not one of those Atlanta fans that said, "Oh man, we beat them. They should have had the game in Atlanta." No,
Right.
The game is perfect to be in New York.
But why don't they? I mean, yeah, it is perfect in New York for Christmas Day, but why don't the Hawks get a Christmas Day game? They
Because first of all,
They haven't had one in 32 years. That's what
I was about to say. They haven't had one in forever.
It's New York.
Huh?
It's the Mecca. They. I mean, I get it, but like, damn, what else they got to do?
If they do well again this year, they'll get one next year.
They'll get one next year.
Nah,
Can y'all tell me why I have to watch the Celtics again on Christmas? Like, why am I being tortured by having to watch the Celtics on Christmas?
That's
There's
Who they
still
play,
one,
Milwaukee?
still want a favorite team out of other people other than you.
I'd rather watch,
People other than me.
I'd rather watch like I'd rather watch like Miami or something.
They play the Bucks. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like Boston even when they were good back in the day with Larry Bird. So,
Amen, sir. Amen.
but some people love Boston, so they don't. I mean, their history is why they continually get on Christmas Day, and they've been good enough. They've been good enough to be there.
I want to get to let's see. Here's the schedule. Oh, it keeps going to opening week. Where is the Christmas schedule? Here it is. You got Knicks and Hawks at 12. I'm going Hawks. You got Bucks and Celtics at 2:30. I'm going Bucks. Golden State is going to smack the Suns at 5:00 on Christmas Day. The Lakers are going to embarrass the Nets at 8 p.m. on Christmas Day. Embarrass the Nets on Christmas. Embarrass them on Christmas. And LeBron is guarding KD. And then at 10:30, you got Utah versus the Mavs. I feel like that's a toss-up, but I think the Mavs will pull it out, though.
Now, you want to talk about who I don't want to see?
Those are my picks.
I don't care how good Utah is. I don't want to see them.
Me either. I don't want to watch them play, bro. I don't want to watch them play, bro. There's certain teams that I just don't want to watch play. The best remember when the Nets used to be my best bad team in the league, and I kept telling y'all that they were good, even though they were losing? They have been replaced by Sacramento, the best bad basketball team in the league, 2 years in a row. I'm telling you, Sacramento games are fun. Y'all should watch them.
First of all, nobody's ever put the word best and Sacramento together. All right, so let's just start there. Let's just start there. Again,
I called it 3 years early with the Nets.
As English guys that we are, we've never put those two words together in a sentence. So I'm trying to understand. No, are they exciting to watch? Yes. The bad part about it, they play in the West.
And if you need a team on the East Coast that's just as bad but just as fun to watch Orlando. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. But Orlando has and this is just the way things are. Orlando has a better chance of sniffing and making it into the playoffs at some point.
They do.
Sacramento does.
But Dre, that means you think the West is better than the East right now. And I don't think top to bottom. I don't think top to bottom it is.
I think people underrate Golden State. I think Golden State.
Underrate. Hold on. Underrate. They just have injuries.
Yeah,
they're just injured.
Saying they don't.
So if you talking about the Lakers
team, like a juggernaut, they are a juggernaut.
Listen. You're talking about the Lakers.
Yes.
Okay. Who's after the Lakers?
Golden
State.
State.
Tell me the Clippers or the Suns.
Golden State. All right. So who's after Golden State? Utah, Phoenix.
The Clippers.
Both.
Clippers. So that's 5 teams right there. Denver's still in there. That's 6. So after Denver, who are you taking? Portland?
Portland probably.
And Phoenix.
No, Phoenix is above Portland, bro. Come on, man. Don't do that.
No. I'm saying Denver.
Denver, all them in the top 6. Portland is 7. Portland 7.
To me, it's Lakers, Golden State, the Clippers, Phoenix, then Utah, then the Mavericks, then Portland. And
where's Denver? Did you put Denver in there?
Yeah, he put Denver early.
No. I didn't. I put Utah, then Denver.
You putting Dallas over Denver?
Yes.
You putting Denver in like 9-10 somewhere?
8.
Wow.
Okay, so where's your best favorite Sacramento team then?
12.
They're fun to watch. They're gonna be 12. They're fun. Hey, look, listen. Hey, I kept telling people, hey man, the Nets are so fun to watch. Spencer Dinwiddie is so good. And everybody's like, I ain't not watching Nets. I'm telling you, Sacramento is gonna be one of those teams. A lot of fun, man. A lot of talent.
A lot
Harry
of lumps.
Giles is a lot better than people think.
After his recovered injury, yes.
Does Harry Giles still? Has he bounced back from those knee injuries and stuff?
That's exactly what I'm saying about after them injuries.
Does he have has he literally bounced back? Has he
No, his bounce isn't as strong. He's
Not
bouncy, but not as strong.
Because he was different in high school, boy.
Oof.
He getting there.
You getting there? Probably might just keep taking time, yeah. Okay.
You do know Jamal. You do know Jamal Murray comes back this year, right?
He does.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I had Denver.
Okay. I just want to make sure you understand that.
Okay, so look,
I just got a question. Hold on.
It's not him. It's I still don't know what Michael Porter Jr. is in the NBA. I still don't.
He's a heck of a
I
player.
still don't know what Porzingis is in the NBA. So you're telling me about Michael Porter Jr.
He could completely change it for me.
But I have a question for you. Where are you putting the Minnesota Georgia Timberwolves?
Right around Sacramento.
Above Sacramento.
They ain't gonna make it. They ain't nowhere in the mix.
Above Sacramento.
I'm just saying.
But where you put Memphis then?
Right. 13? Where's New Orleans?
Don't mention New Orleans.
New Orleans
I know, but I know. I agree.
I think Memphis is on the outside looking in. Memphis is going to be around 10.
So they the play in? They the play in?
Possibly 11.
So you said they're going to be 10, 11, but you just said, all right, we put Sacramento at 12. Then we put the Minnesota Georgia.
You can drop Sacramento whenever you want. We can slot people above Sacramento whenever you want. They're going to be lower.
Well, you said Houston is the bottom. Houston is the bottom.
Is that where Houston is at the very bottom?
Houston's better than Sacramento.
Okay,
no,
Houston's better than Sacramento, bro.
No.
Houston, Vladdy, I don't believe in you, bro. I don't. Luke Walton, I don't believe in you, but your team is fun to watch. When they get another
Bobby
coach,
Jackson should have that job. Bobby Jackson should have that job.
Should. Congrats to Jason Terry too.
The Jet.
Hey, he's gonna congrats to Ray Allen. I heard he just took a job too.
Where?
Culver Prep or something, I think.
Like high school jobs?
Congrats to Rasheed Wallace. Congrats to Rasheed Wallace, baby.
Congrats
Memphis
to
is about to be different.
Rasheed at Memphis. Jason Terry just got a head coaching job.
Memphis going for 30 with all them people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason Terry got the head coaching job for the Denver Nuggets affiliate, G League affiliate.
Okay.
That's huge. I hope it helps him get to be an NBA head coach someday.
Let's land this plane.
Yeah.
Don't remind me of that. The last time I seen that, Miami was losing a championship. That dude was flying around. That's our show for tonight, man. We love you guys. Appreciate everybody checking us out. Stay tuned. Got a lot of great news coming. Until then, we'll be back next week, man. Love you guys.